Have you had to work hard at it, or is it just sheer genius?
It comes to me. It comes to me naturally. And I do it mainly because of my fights, little simple rhymes. I just wrote a poem the other day entitled Truth. It says, the face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last. That's a masterpiece.
Now, did you...
And another thing, when you say integration, it comes under intermarriage too, right? All
right,
being together.
Right, sure.
And I'm sure no intelligent white person watching this show, or no intelligent white man in his or her right white mind, want black boys and black girls marrying their white sons and daughters, and in return introducing their grandchildren as half-brown, kinky-haired black people.
I wouldn't object to that.
Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of them would.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people know. This is the point.
What I'm trying to say is this. And you don't have it. You say you don't, but you don't have it. You really ain't gonna have it. You're on the show, and you got to say that.
That's not true.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I don't think I'm any different from you. You see.
Yeah, we much different.
I mean, I think society's made us different.
You know we're different, and we all together.
Society's made us different.
No, not society. God made us different.
No, we're just human beings. He made all of us.
We all listen. Bluebirds fly with bluebirds. Red birds want to be with red birds. Listen. Tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons.
But
Tell me when I'm wrong.
We should
have. They don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Bluebirds are with bluebirds. They all are birds, but they got different cultures. The eagles like to hang out in the mountains. The buzzard like to fly around the desert.
Well,
the bluebird like to fly around the trees and the grass.
There'd be certain problems a buzzard mating with a sparrow, wouldn't there?
What?
There'd be certain.
Right. And we have the problems too.
No,
I don't see no black and white couples in England or America walking around proud, holding their children.
That's because society
and going out.
That's society's fault. I mean, we've got to educate people around it.
Well, life is too short for me to be catching hell for something like that. I'd rather go and be my own. I have a beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. They look like me. We're all happy, and I don't have no trouble. I have no trouble. I ain't that much in love with no woman to go through all that hell. Ain't no one woman that good. You understand?
I understand. Yeah, I do understand. I understand. I think it's sad that
it ain't sad because I want my child to look like me. Every intelligent person wants his child to look like him. I'm sad because I want to blot out my race and lose my beautiful identity. Chinese love Chinese. They love the little slanted-eyed, pretty brown-skinned babies. Pakistanis love their culture. Jewish people love their culture. A lot of Catholics don't want to marry number Catholics. They want the religion to stay the same. Who want to spot up yourself and kill your race? You a hater of your people if you don't want to stay who you are. You shame what God made you. God didn't make no mistake when he made us all like we were.
I think that's a philosophy of despair.
Despair.
I really do.
It ain't no despair.
Number
one, can't no woman. Let me tell you something. I want to tell you. Listen, no woman on this whole earth, not even a black woman in Muslim countries, can please me and cook for me and socialize and talk to me like my American black woman. No woman, at last, is a white woman, can really identify with me and my feelings and the way I act and the way I talk. And you can't take no Chinese man and give him no Puerto Rican woman and holler about we're in love and you emotionally in love and physically, but really they're not happy because she's going to hear some Puerto Rican music, he's going to hear some Chinese music, and they're going to be clashing all the time. It's just nature. You can do what you want, but it's nature to want to be with your own. I want to be with my own.
Yes, Ali did tell the truth. However, there is a little bit hidden truth that most people don't talk about. You see, there was nothing wrong with all races living amongst each other and doing business with each other. But we had our own communities as ethnicity of people. In biblical time, the Israelites of the 12 tribes lived among each other. And the Gentiles lived among each other, and so on and so forth. The reason this was done is because it kept out a whole lot of confusion when it came to education, teaching, and marriage. When there was a melting pot as of today in the United States, which is nothing but a corporation of lies, there is no true history of one's origin. They tell you about these all Southern men that saved this country and made the country home of the free and home of the brave, which is kind of ludicrous. This is why interrogation was such a bad ordeal. But just don't take my word for it. Let's look in some scriptures real quick and see exactly what the scripture says about interracial dating as well as marriage. Numbers 36:7. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter that possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance, even as the Lord commanded Moses. So did the daughters of Zelophehad. And they were married unto the families of the sons of Manasseh, the sons of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their fathers. We're not making this up. You don't have to believe it, but that was said in biblical times, and it still stands today. But before we continue, let's bring out one more in Tobit. Tobit 4:12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father. And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abram, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed, and their children and their seed shall inherit the land. The moral of the scriptures tells us a story why Negroes have so many problems in this land called United States of America. Yes, they are multi-talented across the board, from singing to rapping to boxing to tennis, hockey, whatever. But the sad point is they feel like they need to fit in. Just ask Tiger Woods. A man that don't want to accept that he's Negro, but he calls himself quadrilegic. You know what? I don't even know if I'm saying it right, so forgive me. But the moral of this testament, before we get into the actual boxing, is why there's so many problems in today's sport arena. Because you're never looked upon as human. You're not even looked upon as a guy who's a good guy that is Negro. You are looked upon as 3/5 of a human. Less than cattle. Less than garbage. Less than the scrattle on your feet. This is why you have so many problems. So you think if you marry outside your race, you would show a better deed and you'd be accepted. This is why your children's children have so many problems. This is why your bloodline have so many problems. It's got nothing to do with nothing. We were only put here to learn a lesson as human beings. But man came from the south and part of the north and took the land from the Indians and segregated it and poisoned the land with his chemicals and his dictatorship and his brutes of force and his armies. And now we have this thing called boxing that is totally poisoning young people to want to be great. The music industry is totally poisoning the souls of young men and women of rituals and brotherhood. Believe it or not, these scriptures are very powerful for this documentary because it tells nothing but the truth, and the whole truth will always set you free. Mike Tyson told the truth. He told the truth about the ins and outs, and the most exciting part about the red and blue, how they strike each corner, and it's about the Republican Democrats. That tells you that the elites run this, man. It's like in biblical times, they had the gladiators perform for them, for Caesar. Well, all of these fightings and sports figures are nothing but entertainment for the elites. But Cassius Clay, known as Ali today, had a bigger problem because he was being controlled and manipulated by a man by the name of Elijah Muhammad. See, Elijah Muhammad has a lot to do with all of this craziness about people following and paying off. Malcolm X was one, but we'll get to that close to the end of the story. I'll follow up with that. Ali was a good guy. He's a country boy, and all he knew was fighting. He was an honest guy, but he was in the public's eye, and he was becoming rich. And the Muslims set their eye on him because they know they could get a nice penny from him. Ali knew half the things that were going on were lies, but he was so afraid of going against them because they could turn his life upside down. If you remember the movie with Will Smith, when Ali found out they were lying to him, he fired them for about 48 hours and hired them back because he didn't want the backlash, right? I'm going to show you a clip how Ali tap dances around the key questions that this guy is going to ask.
My stand for my religious belief, my stand for my people, speaking up for my people, all of them are with me, and that's all I want.
Can I come back to your association with the black Muslims? Have you paid them a lot of money?
Well, this is another propaganda thing. It's a good question that people has here in America has tried to paint the image where I was being used by the Islamic religion just for prestige and for money. I'd like to say that after all of my fights, white America, as I said earlier, took 90% first, which left me 10%. I divorced my first wife. It cost me about $200,000 in alimony. The judge, he was against me too. I was married 11 months, no children, and I have to pay a woman $1,200 a month for 10 years. This is another thing directed just to me.
Yes, sir. Ali knew exactly what was going on. He tap danced around that question the way people tap dance at ice skating. But he did the right thing because he had family, and he didn't want nothing happening to his babies or nor his wife, so he played the game. But the sad part about Ali, how he ridiculed Malcolm X and said Malcolm went bad, he went evil. That was kind of a low blow, because Malcolm was nothing but good to Ali. So nevertheless, that troubles Ali today. Doing the Thriller in Manila with Don King was the worst thing that ever happened to black fighters. We'll have a clip later on to talk about Don King, but we're going to keep it on Ali just for a couple of more minutes, or half of that, right? Ali's a good guy, man. We're not here to ridicule him. He's the best of all times. The whole point of the documentary is to show you that a good guy like Ali, a wholesome guy, man, good family man, good to his kids, a good dude, they got to him. They changed him. Ali had to take the oath. He had to be a part of this madness. And even today in his sickness, it bothers him. He never talks about it, but it's like a prisoner being in prison who gets out and never talks about it. It bothers him. The old contracts back in the day, they were all bogus. All the commissions was robbing them. All the promoters was robbing them. Then come Don King. He started robbing them even more. Ali fought a lot of fights. He was fighting, selling out arenas, and wasn't getting half what he was fighting for. boxing was getting badder, or should we say worse, than the music industry. It's all about the show. It's all about the fans. It's all about how to sell something. This is the problem with baseball and all the rest of the sports. How can one man make $100 million to hit a ball? And it's become utterly ridiculous. And you people sitting back paying $50, $100 to $200 seats to see them. You got to be out of your mind. Sports, music has always been ran by the mob. Now the mob has gotten smart. They got lawyers to write up their contracts. Yes, they've joined corporate America. They stopped so much of the killing. And so what they do now is ridicule you, make you look bad in front of the public, make you look like a pedophile. They make you look sarcastic and crazy. See, that's how they do it now. They kill you with the fountain pen instead of killing you with the gun. And also they kill you with the brotherhood, because most of them too are very demonic. Floyd Mayweather got his hands in the pyramid, much like the picture next to him. My. The reason Floyd put his hands in the pyramid is because Floyd is part of the brotherhood. Some may even say he signed his name in blood long ago. These people have left us a resume to view, and their resume is horrible. But we're going to review it and tell you the truth and not be hidden anymore. Let's pull up some friends of Floyd. This whole picture is satanic. The little lights that's above, there's really a woman with her legs open and short arms. Now Floyd may disagree, but we're going to prove it. We're going to bring a picture. Look at the picture to the left. That's the Baphomet with the 6-point star. Notice the woman got a leg spreaded with an arm spreader being inserted with a penis. Floyd's friend throws up the goat with a number 1. Floyd's hand is pointing down to number 1, and his buddy is pointing to Floyd. Notice Floyd's friend has his hands in the goat. Notice he got number 1. Look at the things above their head. That's the goat again. Floyd is pointing down. Let's bring it up even closer. Let's highlight it so that you can see that we're not picking on these people. This is the resume they left for us to view. Why is he pointing down? Because Floyd is following the rituals. This is how he get paid, y'all. Everything is about the Baphomet and the sellout. See, pointing up, pointing down. The Baphomet is indicating that he has both parts. That's why they're so big on transgender, because the Baphomet has a male part and a female part. That's why they're so huge on transgender. You understand? This picture says it all. And all you so-called elders and men of the Lord that wear these 6-point stars on your uniform, your hats, you should be ashamed of yourself, because that's a hexagram. Solomon was ridiculed for worshiping strange gods. It's really the hexagram of Moloch. So if you're wearing a 6-point star, you're telling the world that you worship the Baphomet. Check out this interview with Floyd.
Forbes magazine reported that you are the world's highest paid athlete, earning last year $85 million. Are they correct?
It could be a little. It could be a little bit more than that. More than that. Yes.
What is it like? You didn't grow up rich, did you?
I had the best of both worlds.
You did?
Yes. Well, you know, I stayed with my mother at one particular time in New Brunswick, New Jersey. We lived 7 deep in a 1-bedroom apartment, no hot water.
You call that the best of both worlds?
You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
You have to let me finish. But also, at one particular time, I stayed with my dad as a kid, and my dad, of course, you know, he hustled, you know, in the inner city of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he made sure I had to finer things in life when I was young, also. So I say the best of both worlds.
I understand. How does it feel though to have everything? That you can go to any store and buy anything. How's that feel like?
Well, what I come to find out, it's not always about, you know, the money. You know, of course, I'm Floyd Money Mayweather, and Of course, who don't like to make a lot of money or who don't like the finer things in life? But if you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have no freedom, then it's just like you being broke. So I come to find out that my freedom is more important than anything.
And you had your freedom taken away for a couple of months.
So that's what I learned. Yeah. My freedom is very important because when I was locked up, I couldn't do nothing.
Floyd is owned by the mob, the elite, and a string of other people. They still own Floyd. They don't really start realizing how deep they in until they start to get older. The elites equals the mob and the high priests and Masonic Masons. And that's just the truth. You remember when the show first started, when Floyd and Robert's dad was going at it? Ain't it ironic? Before and after the fight, they hug like things have never happened. Didn't I tell you in the beginning of the film that it's all hype? Proof in the pudding that they don't have beef, y'all. It's all hype to sell tickets and watch pay-per-view. That's all it is. They told them what to do. Okay. Why did 50 and Floyd have this dispute? We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but let's just get to the nitty-gritty very brief. 50 Cent had no intentions on staying with Floyd Kemp for very long because 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson that is a very self-centered bastard. He's the type of guy that wants all the glory. 50 was only at Floyd's camp to see exactly what he was doing, to be a spy. That's all he was doing. 50 is the type of guy that wants you to chase him and do what he say and follow up behind him. Floyd started peeping some of the things 50 was doing and just didn't like his flow. And to show you that 50 was a dictator, he wanted to control Floyd's promotion without Floyd's consent. Well, if Floyd hadn't got rid of 50, that's just the beginning of these two guys who sold their soul. Yes, they did. The picture indicated all, right? That's just the beginning of what 50 was going to do to Floyd. Floyd, 50 was sent to your camp by the elites. And I think you know that. That's why you throw your hands in the pyramid when you talk. I know a lot of you saw the money they was flaunting, and you just was getting sick in your stomach that you didn't have none of it. But did you know that they had to get that approved? No celebrity or sports figures can take out millions of dollars and showcase it anywhere without getting approved and finalized. The money was a publicity stunt for promotional use for YouTube and other events, to make young people go out and do anything to be a hustler, to be anything, a singer, American Idol, to try to get that wealth. That's why we do these films, because these guys are telling you nothing but lies how they get their money. All of them are part of it. From the promoters, the sportscasters, they're all brotherhood. If you're going to be in that arena and try to make money, you got to bow down and do what they tell you. And a lot of times you got to go to those gay parties, great gay transgender parties, and you got to get yours the way they get theirs. And if not, you can't make money.
I mean, the perception of the public, blacks in particular, I spoke to them, they think they are proud that Don King is doing what used to be controlled by the white man, the promotional business, and that he's there because he's tough. You know, he doesn't take shit from anybody.
Breaking news, guys. Whenever something is breaking, I come in and just keep putting them up if I have to. It's close to 9 p.m. Mountain Time out here in Colorado. And I've been getting emails all over the world. This just happened on the 21st, I believe, or they're just reporting it right now. This guy might have been killed 2 or 3 days ago. I'm not for sure. He's a promoter for Mayweather and McGregor fight. I reported on this stuff a long time ago. When I did the film on Mayweather, it's still on YouTube. I told you guys how everything is fake and ran by Illuminati. Well, this promoter went a little bit farther than me. I'll explain after the commercial. Guys, this is going to probably be the shortest show I ever did. I just thought I had to bring you this. It's breaking to me.
is some I've already reported on. I did a film on Mayweather, probably 5 years ago, probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's still on YouTube about the boxing, how they are ran by the elite, and how Mayweather sold his soul a long time ago. And most of the fights are fixed. Everybody that Floyd been beating, a few, when he first came up to get his name, he really beat those guys. As he got getting bigger, as he got, started climbing the ladder, they were told to take a dive. His last fight with the Latino guy, the Hispanic, he really could beat Mayweather. But he gave him so much money, he told him, take a dive. I put that in the film. It's on YouTube right now if you can find it. It's on my Yash Karai channel 3-4 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago. I'm not sure. But these guys are told to take a dive. These guys know how to fake the fight. Boxing is just like the WWE. They make it look damn good, but they know who gonna win and they know who gonna fall. The only boxing that's real is when they first starting trying to get their name. That's real boxing. But as it started to get bigger, the ticket prices get bigger, the promotion get bigger, and now they don't make $1 million. That's chump change. They really fighting for that little million. But when they start making the 10, 20, 30, 50 million, they start staging it. Mayweather stand to make 100 million, win or lose. McGregor gonna make great as well. These guys are buddies, man. They don't hate each other. They're buddies. Mayweather know his family. McGregor knows Mayweather's family. Before the promoter was shot dead in the head, execution style, he reported this. I just did a show about how the Democrats want Obama back, and all of a sudden, in the same breath, this guy gets killed. So a lot of stuff popped off. And by the way, this guy was from Washington, D.C., and he was found dead in Washington, D.C. Isn't that strange? Wow. I believe him. But he did it wrong. He went about it wrong because he worked with these guys. He was part of the brotherhood. He knew he couldn't tell the secrets. Even though he knew it was fake, he should have just made his money, walked away, and maybe down the line blew the whistle. But the way he did it was stupid. You can't work that close to Mayweather. Everybody in Mayweather camp know this shit is fake. Okay? I'm going to read a few, and I'm going to leave it alone, okay? Because I'm going to get out of here. If it's breaking, man, I have to tell you guys. That's why I tell you, it's not cool to know these guys. And I'm not throwing nobody under the bus. Please don't think I'm player hating. I don't player hate on no man. But I remember when Floyd Mayweather gave or acknowledged Chris Jones on YouTube when they was in the club, and Chris thought that was the best thing in the world to be like Floyd, or Floyd having noticed him. Floyd would use you for a blood sacrifice, Chris. That's what he needs, okay? You guys are just fame struck, and I'm not hating on you. You just don't know Hollywood. You don't. You're making some money, but you don't know Hollywood, man. So let's just say this real quick. The guy named, out of respect, his name is, that's all they gave us, Gibson. Gibson is a PR executive. He was 45 years old. That's all I got right now. But let's just go. He blew the whistle, man, and people was listening, but he didn't make it to the TV in time. They killed this dude in his Jeep, bloody. It says, according to Gibson, Mayweather and McGregor have organized a fixed fight that will earn them both record pay pockets at hundreds of millions of broadcasters, but will send jaded boxing fans home disappointed. This is the biggest scam in boxing history. Gibson said in Toronto, according to reports, I'm telling you now, there is more than a gentleman's agreement between these two assholes. The fight is already completed, scripted out. Didn't I tell y'all guys how they get down? I've been saying this forever. I made a film on Mayweather many years ago. I told y'all how they get down. Everybody thought I was player hating. This man lost his life to tell the truth. He went on air in Toronto and told this, so they have a recording of it. When he went back home in Washington, they had a hitman waiting for him and killed him execution style. He didn't see it coming. So let's finish this real quick. The fight is already completely scripted out. Believe me when I say I've read it. He read the script. So they're going to make it seem like they're killing each other. My personal opinion, I believe nobody going to win. I believe they're going to do something nasty, and Mayweather team going to fight McGregor's team, and it's going to be a disqualification, but they both going to get paid because there is no refunds on pay-per-view. Showtime going to make a bungle of money. People going to want their money back, but you're going to have to stand in line. And these guys going to go overseas somewhere and live their lives. Now it says, I'm going to say this and get out. These assholes have been traveling around the world on the same private jet to promote the fight, laughing all the way to the bank. The acting you see on stage, don't believe the hype. They are pals. This is fixed. Telling reporters that he is a boxing fan first, promoter second. Gibson said boxing in 2017 needs to be great fights, not scams. Boxing in America won't recover from this because we're at the end of the road. Revelation 18:22, the music industry can't make money. The sports industry is getting ready to fail. Everything is getting ready to fail. All these black entertainers are nothing but paid slaves. Real talk. That's all they are. Like being in the Coliseum and giving off a good warrior type of an event. You know, back in the day when they celebrated or they call out the fool to entertain the king, and this is what they're doing. They're just entertaining the king. Early reports that stated Gibson had been shot dead in an execution-style killing in D.C. has also been scrubbed from the internet, but not before alert readers captured screenshots of the story. They've been trying to burn it off the internet, get in touch with Google, because Google has the masters of all this stuff and trying to burn it. But there have been so many screenshots, they can't perform this. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they postpone the fight. Listen, the fight expects to earn Mayweather upwards of $400 million because Mayweather owns a percentage of Showtime Promotions. And McGregor going to get a lot too. So let's just say this is how much money these two are making the money and getting ready to get the hell out of the sports industry. But the sports industry is getting ready to be busted. After this, I believe all sports figures is going to be railroaded. I think sports would never be the same. And it doesn't matter if it's boxing. This is going to send a message to all sports. All of them are rigged. I've been telling y'all, football is rigged. They tell the stars, the varsity, what do you want to call them, the stars of the teams, who gonna lose. And they make it look good, man. They really make it look good, but it's all script. Check this. It says the fight is expected to earn Mayweather upwards of $400 million for the 50th professional fight if the TV viewership achieves its target. McGregor, who will be marked his pro boxing cut, will earn at least $75 million. Oh, I hope fans of boxing world see this. This is nothing but a WWE at a high stake of literally ripping public folks off who love the sport. And the sport has become nasty. I hope that you guys read the link. I hope you share the link and do not pay pay-per-view to see a fake fight. Now you're beginning to catch my hint that everything we do in this world that we pay attention to is fake. And I say this, and I'm going to cut this out. How can you keep giving to people who don't give a fuck about you? How can you support Mayweather? How can you support McGregor? How can you support all of these NBA, NFL? You spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their tickets, and you spend with their gear, their apparel. You wear it proudly. And they give you nothing in return. They don't have a conversation with telling you truth. They don't have the balls to tell you that, hey man, this economy is getting ready to be a cashless society. They don't give you anything, but you praise them and you praise them. You give your last rent money to just see them. And every time I speak, I'm crazy. I don't ever want to make that kind of money living in this kingdom. You have all kind of trouble. But I'm just making a point where these people are maliciously faking the funk, scripting out boxing and ripping you off. And you're paying tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars to see them. And you got nerve to give me beef for $3.99? Jesus. And I ain't talking $3.99. I'm talking about $3.99. You're bugging. And how long have you promoted, and how long have you been given to Mayweather's production? Forever. Anything Mayweather put out, you buy it. Anywhere you go, you tour. You're trying to catch his tours. And they're literally laughing at you because they know you're so fucking stupid. My name is Yash Kara, and I just came with this breaking news. Somebody has to say something, and I may be the one to do it. Please share this audio and get it to people who really love the sport, what it used to be, because right now it's nothing but clown princes controlling this arena, telling you even more that we're coming to a cashless society of a revolution, and this time it will be televised. One love.
We're going to close with Brother Malcolm. And no, it has nothing to do with boxing. It's just that in my documentaries, I incorporate some things to make you think about the world that you live in. Brother Malcolm was one of the original pioneers of truth. The only fault that Malcolm had is that he believed in man over everything. That man that he believed in was Elijah Muhammad. He believed that Elijah Muhammad was Lord sent, and really he just was man of flesh. It's sad, man, that this brother was a pioneer. Malcolm had doubts of the Nation of Islam because Malcolm had a lot of solutions how to segregate ourselves and to have our own little unit. Because the government at that time was willing to give Negroes their own little space away from whites. I'm telling you now. But Elijah Muhammad wasn't here. Every time Malcolm came up with a great solution or plan, Elijah would kick it down. Malcolm had doubts early on, in the middle, but he kept, believing in this man. And Malcolm was the only one that went to Mecca at that time. Now, Farrakhan pretty much lived out there in the Far East world, but Malcolm at that time was the first. Elijah Muhammad has never been. Even on his dying day, he'd never been to Mecca. When Malcolm went to Mecca, he found out the truth, that he is not African American, that he is Negro, and Negroes in America that came on the slave ships are Israelites. When Malcolm came back, he was not only hated by Elijah, he was watched heavily with the CIA, FBI, the whole nine. And Malcolm was worried about his life and his family. He could not trust the nation. Even the ones that was watching over him, he was worried about them. So Malcolm called up the Freemasons, the white brothers. I tell you now, I'm telling you, y'all may not want to believe this, but this is how it played out. It's a reason why Malcolm took this famous picture with his finger to the temple. Now, some of y'all that don't understand history, you think Malcolm just was a prolific brother who just was before his time and he took this outstanding picture. Listen, man, that's a hand gesture. And the elites told him how to take the picture. He also have another picture with 4 fingers under his chin. That's also an elite impression of the gestures of Masonic world. Why would they want Malcolm to take several pictures with his finger to the temple? To prove that he belongs to another organization. And that organization was the Freemasons. I know y'all don't want to believe this, but I wouldn't dare ridicule a brother that I love truly, Malcolm X. He's one of the greatest pioneers. I would never ridicule this brother. But I'm just closing with Malcolm to show you how they get to the best of people who have great intentions. When you put your trust in man, this what happens. You can't put trust in man because they can be easily bought off. You can buy your leader off with a damn gift card if you don't think you have to buy nothing. I'm just telling the truth. And when Malcolm exposed all these things, the one that he mentored the most wanted him executed. Who am I talking about? Louis Farrakhan. He was the main one in Elijah Muhammad's ear. Brother Malcolm has to be put down. And I know y'all saying, wait a minute now. All you Islamic brothers that follow the FOI, I know y'all going, this brother, no, he going off. I'm not going off. He admitted in a candid interview with Malcolm's daughter that he orchestrated Malcolm's death. They could have easily stopped this. Even Malcolm said Elijah Muhammad has the power to put all this mess to aside. But he can't put it to aside when people like Farrakhan is in his ear saying, no, Malcolm got to go. Because Farrakhan was jealous of Malcolm's following and all the love he had in Harlem. See, that's the thing with men. You can't trust them ever. So don't take my word for it. Listen to this candid interview.
I wish that Malcolm X were alive today and not dead. Yes, it is true that black men pull the trigger. We cannot deny any responsibility in this. Where we are responsible, where our hands are a part of this, we beg God's mercy and forgiveness.
What did you expect to come out of this conversation? What did you hope would come?
I genuinely hope that perhaps a healing can come to Miss Shabazz and her family. As I may have been complicit in words that I spoke leading up to February 21st, I acknowledge that and regret that any word that I have said caused the loss of life of a human being.
February 21st, 1965, as Malcolm spoke in New York City's Audubon Ballroom, members of the Nation of Islam opened fire, killing him in front of hundreds of his supporters. Malcolm's wife and children were there, including Atala Shabazz, Malcolm's eldest daughter. She was 6 at the time.
Farrakhan says, let the healing begin. I could believe that if you tried to stop Elijah from doing such an act. I could believe that if you told the trigger man to stand down. But the fact that you was a part of the charade, that you was in Elijah Muhammad's ear telling him to put him down, that you were telling the trigger man that this needs to happen, and it took you almost 20-some years to get the grudge out of your heart to say you were wrong. You are no better than the armies of America who drop bombs on innocent civilians. So I can't believe nothing you say. You are nothing but another modern-day Elijah Muhammad, a brainwasher. So folks said, well, Malcolm talked a lot of hatred. Malcolm believed in a man. And what did the Lord tell us about men? With men, nothing is impossible. But with the Lord, all things are possible. This is why I stopped believing in men. I used to be part. You know, if you don't get out of those crazy groups, you're going to be one of these guys that's led astray. Because men are dictators. And when you don't do what they want you to do, they come against you violently. Malcolm X's picture was colorized, by the way. This is a black and white photo. I wanted to bring it to you raw, so you can feel what I'm feeling. I know this is a good man here. And I pray that the Most High, have mercy on his soul and deliver him, because his intentions was spot on. He was a family man. He did everything by the book. He didn't fornicate. He didn't break up homes. The man just was a righteous man, led astray by greedy men of Satanism. I said it. Now it's coming out that Elijah Muhammad had ties with the CIA. I said it, and I stand by it. Every time I see this picture, this brother laying here with no more breath, and I see the buckshots in his chest. What was they thinking when they took him down? He took his last breath. What type of celebration did Farrakhan have when this brother took his last breath? What did Elijah Muhammad feel? Even Ali turned on this man, saying he went bad. Ali is living with this guilt. Because Ali know he wasn't bad, but even Ali to this day is scared of the Nation of Islam. Elijah Muhammad said Malcolm caused his own death because of all the hate he preached. And he was the main one telling Malcolm to preach the hate when he came out of prison. You see how men turn on you? Lord. I'm just trying to keep calm. I wanted to close on something that was very horrific to make you think. Stop letting these grown-ass elders and men tell y'all what to do and how to live your lives. Don't no pastor, deacon, bishop, and no damn elder on the streets know nothing about what's coming. They're reading to you out of a book. They're not reading from the spirit, they're reading from the flesh because they're some greedy fat bastards. It's the truth. Revelation 18:22. And the voice of harpers and the musicians, of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. That's talking about corporate America of the music industry, making billions and billions upon music. That's why they're in the forest. There will be no more superstars coming out of Hollywood. And you actors are just about done had it too. Everything in Hollywood is being washed. All you so-called rich people with these $2 and $3 million homes, you're trying to legalize gay. That's why all of your states are becoming drowning with water, saturated with hurricanes, because you are going against the Heavenly Father's word. And you don't know why all these things are happening to you. Oklahoma, you're just totally wicked. You got hit twice. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and all the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by the sorceries were all nations deceived. That's America. Everybody comes to America to start a business. And the merchants are talking about the businesses of New York, because everything starts in New York before it goes viral. Sorcery are numerology and astrology who pray to satanic gods. And once America has its downfall, and you see that America is going to change from cash flow to the chip, which is the RFID 666, she's going to let you know who she really is. A satanic, demonic being, devilish. And that's when all the nations and all the people who thought we were crazy going to see they were deceived. I hope you enjoyed this last segment. And I hope you got the message.